Okay, I'm just trying to adjust the formula here. This mess that you see here, you see that? All right, that's basically resin, basically Bondo, sand, some key dust. Um, I believe there's some powdered aluminum in there. But I also got some activated charcoal. This is the kind of stuff that you could find, for fish tanks and things like this, for filters. All right. It's kind of granular, but I figured, what the hell, It's it's carbon based, and maybe it's something that my stuff has been missing for a while. Now I put a handful of sand in there. That's basically for the crystal play sand, and if you look at that real close, I mean, real close, like as if you were to use a magnifying glass or jeweler's glass or something, you'll see there's just a whole bunch of little crystals. But what it's missing is carbon. All right, for the longest time I've been using the resin itself as the organic material. And that never really sat well with me. All right, but this time we're going to be running carbon, and we're going to see what happens. Let me pour this out. We'll do some tests and take it from there. I just poured this stuff, I don't know, half hour ago, 45 minutes ago. And right now it's starting to cure. It's hot, okay. So the curing is taking place. There's no question about that. I had just a little bit extra, so I guess I gauged that pretty good. But even that's getting pretty hot too. But as I run my hand over, aside from the, naturally the heat coming up from this thing, there is, a pretty interesting energy discharge. Apparently, I must have done something right this time. The charcoal, is the only thing I put in here that's a little bit different. As you can tell, it looks like it's developing like a porous look to it. Be interesting to see what this looks like when it comes out of the mold. All right, but right now, I'm impressed. There's certainly some really high energies coming off of these passive devices, and they're not even cured yet. Okay, naturally they're hot. I mean, you could feel the heat, like heat, not heat, heat, not heat, heat, But aside from that, when I go from one to the other, like right in here, you don't feel much, but right in there, yo, there's a tingle going on. Palm of the hand, that would capture it. But there's a real tingle going on with these things. And for such passive units, I'm kind of impressed. The little one, pretty much about the same way. Let this go for a little bit. Get it out of the mold. We'll try a few things. But right now, I'd say what we have is something impressive. This is primarily just a test. All right, I'm not doing this just so I could come up with a better form of orgonite. I just wanted to see how it works with the formula. If this formula works, then I'll use it for the next experiment that I'm going to work on, which is something for the eclipse. So we'll wait and see what this stuff looks like, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, we just pulled this stuff out of the mold, and a little on the sticky side yet, but it'll take a little while for that to cure. Kind of cool, huh? Looks like a moonscape. But be that as it may, okay. When I stand here, they're cooled down. They're processed already. They'll continue to cure for 3 days, okay. But right now, just by doing this, I could feel that. Oh, that one especially. I could feel that energy just vortexing right up, coming right from the center there. Let's see. It still seems to be about the same. I imagine if we changed densities, or added something else to it, that would maybe a different form. That seems to be kind of interesting. But at least we know this stuff works. All right. If I were to add another one of these things that was less dense, okay, closer to a resin, maybe not as much metal in it, maybe not as much sand, the difference, would certainly react well. This needs some external stimulation to make it work, but even on its own, this stuff is really working nice. Okay, and like I say, this is just the foundation. This is just like a starting point as to where we're going to go. What I have in mind is something completely different. All right, but I just wanted to try this formula to see if it was worthwhile, with the next project I'm, about to make. And I think it is. I think it's going to work. And like I say, this is carbon. I might do better off if I were to just crush this stuff up a little bit more, It's pretty much designed for an aquarium filter. If I were to take a mortar and pestle to it, or a hammer, or something, and bust it up into powder, it'd probably work better. Might even work if I just use charcoal briquettes, But it's the carbon that's going to do that. That perforation's nice. Interesting. Yeah, but say if I were to bust it up a little bit more, make it into a powder, it'd probably work a little bit better. We're certainly going to work on that today. And once I get going on this next project, you'll be the first to know. Okay, I just wanted to show you what I did here, what I've been up to lately. This is a zapper, all right, and it's feeding a couple of Mobius coils in series. One in here, okay, but the other one in here. This one inside here, is wrapped around a nice sized crystal, and inside here is various densities from low to extremely high density orgonite. This pipe is packed with crystals and some other odds and ends, and powdered metals and brass and a bunch of stuff like that. Powdered metals mostly, and chips. Some black kyanite up at the top. Let's see if we can focus in on that. Nice. Alright, and just to round it off, a whole bunch of other crystals to carry it. Okay. Also, in the length of this tube, there's a nice, coil of copper. Hopefully to transfer it up there. The energy output's interesting. Nice and smooth. Not really radical. Okay, but it's nice enough. It's cool. I built this primarily so I could for the eclipse today. Down the base here, alright, as you can see, this is 2-inch copper pipe, 1-inch copper pipe. Down the base here, alright, it's pretty much designed so I could, let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Hold on a second. Okay, this thing comes right off. It's a tight fit, okay? But inside here, I could put a sampling crystal, okay? With or without, works just the same. That's just resin down the base. But I could put a sampling crystal in here to for whatever purpose that I need. And there's enough room on there that it could fit in just nice. Let's see. Nice. Okay. All right, and this is, geez, I'd say 100% of everything on here is spare parts. I have the thing that's set at 15 hertz. That's enough. we could try something else, a few other things. The battery I have in here is extremely cheap. Could I say 15 hertz lasts for a few hours. Once I go up in frequency, it's not going to last as long. Rubber bands around here are necessary. I did use electrical tape, but what a drag. You got to change batteries by pulling off this panel. Okay, and at the moment, this is the only spare frequency generator I have. Ideally, I was going to put this at the base, all right, like that, with the cap on the end. This is enough room in here to house the circuitry for a frequency generator, plus batteries or whatever. But time's not on my hands. I did this yesterday, and between pouring, mixing, putting things together, it's pretty much an all-day process, off and on. There's certain things that you have to wait for, like the resin settling down and cooling off. But so far, I kind of like it. It's a nice even blast. Much more if I were to do something to modify this, like maybe 13 hertz, amp it up with some kind of amplification, which would probably be best. This will work for this, but it's not the best. It's not the best. And I know I have other frequency generators floating around, but hey, well, you work with what you got. And so far, everything that's on here is spare parts. And we'll see how it works. What am I going to do with it? The eclipse is today. Yeah, just might turn it on and point it at the sun. Okay, I guess that's good enough for now. Wish me luck.